Good morning, everybody. Like when you forge steel, applying intense pressure and heat removes impurities. So today we're going to talk about manifesting greatness and Psuche, which is the third and final common term translated as soul or spirit in English from the original koine Greek that was used to write the new King James Bible translation. Anyways, this is a wandering author here, your favorite aspiring revolutionary, reminding you that we are all the authors of our own lives. As always, my message remains the same: spend less, live more, earn your freedom with frugality. So, I'm about 50 miles into this week, and on foot, I mean, I've probably done close to 1,000 miles in the car. But you just gotta use a mantra and keep going. Anyways, this is Apostle Island National Lakeshore in Wisconsin. It's a continuation of the Lake Superior shoreline in the upper northeast part of the Midwest. I know that's kind of a funny way to phrase it, but I believe this formation over here that we're looking at is called the Bowl, right? And what's really cool, they're gone now, but there's usually a ton of kayakers, and these caves you can actually kayak into. I would have rented one myself, but I did not bring enough cash with me. So we did everything on foot. We should be about 10 miles in after everything's all said and done. So, Psuche is normally translated directly from the Greek to English as Psyche today, but Western psychoanalysts like Freud and Carl Jung in particular differentiated them. Carl Jung has a good quote: "I have been compelled in my investigations to make a conceptual distinction between soul and psyche. By psyche, I mean the totality of psychic processes, unconscious and conscious. By soul, on the other hand, I understand a clearly demarcated functional complex, one that can best be described as personality." So, oh geez, look at this. We gotta crawl under here. Oh, okay. So in the Bible, we have the Trinity, right? So I think, in my own mind, as my Western mind, that it's very interesting that from the Greeks to the Bible, people differentiate three aspects of our humanity. And we have about three functional areas in the brain. We have the brainstem, commonly called the reptilian part of the brain, includes structures like the medulla oblongata, stuff that regulates your heartbeat, and autonomic functions, stuff that's totally automatic. Then, on top of that, you have this little shell called the limbic system. This developed later, and it's most closely associated with structures like the amygdala, stuff that makes you feel emotions, good and bad. And then we have the final neocortex, which is the most specifically human thing about us. Now remember, Aristotle wrote a treatise on the nature of the soul in Latin, De Anima, where he describes three versions of human soul, right? He has the animal, the vegetative, the animative, and then the rational souls. Again, animative would be kind of like our reptilian brain, the brainstem core functions. The animative, the one the animals have, more like our limbic brain, they also have instincts. We have unconscious and conscious urges. And the rational, which is the one that distinctly makes us human. Now, I believe, this right here is just me, that in order to truly unleash any human's potential, they need to have freedom, purpose, and meaning. And there's just something about beautiful scenes like this right here that just do something for your spirit. Look at the sandstone formations. That's Lake Superior back there. Just absolutely gorgeous. So Freud also broke psyche up into three parts. You have the id, which is our unconscious urges, animal soul in Aristotle's terms. the superego, which is more like the animative, which is a conscious, and it also contains, for Freud, the internalized, what society lays on us. Everybody's born with a tabula rasa, as Rousseau would say. We have a blank slate. Tabula rasa, that's French. But over time, society and our experiences create these models that we are forced to follow. Now, modern Western science has discovered something called the default mode network, right? If you've ever felt stagnant or like you've fallen into a rut, it's because your default mode network has adopted negative patterns of habits, right? Now, here's the cool thing. Certain practices, like intense meditation and other things, can diminish the default mode network's activity and threshold. I think this is called the crevasse. I'm going to have pictures of all this stuff on my Instagram tonight. If it's taken me a while to upload everything, it's because I have legitimately walked over 8 miles already today, and I walked over 13. By today, I should still be over 10. Again, close to 70 by the end of this week. So, let me look here. Yeah, so that's really pretty much it as far as I have on the psyche. And now let's talk a little bit about manifesting greatness. Now, whenever I was knocking on doors, you know what you need to do, but nobody's telling you what to do. Now, in most jobs, and including in school, high school, we pretty much have somebody tell us what to do our entire lives. Door knocking's not quite like that. You have training, but once you get dropped off, it's just you out there. And if you don't want to knock on doors, like, the team's just going to find somebody else that will. So you got to figure out how to motivate yourself, control your mind, commit, and do whatever it takes to become exceptional or to succeed at that. And because it's such a challenging job mentally, at times it compensates very well. And it, whenever you work an hourly job, there is no incentive for you to show up, so to speak. You just go and you're just like a husk, right? I've done it, but only for like 2 years out of 10 of being an adult. For 7 of them, I had to perform in order to live. And even now as a freelance writer, I still have to write articles daily. Currently I'm doing about 2,000 to 3,000 words a day, but I've had weeks or months where I've done literally over 250,000 words, which that's not something to be proud of. I was kind of a crappy writer back then. I've gotten a lot better. Now with doing what I'm doing now, I would like to manifest some greatness. I can see a future where I not only does what I'm doing help me. What was cool about door knocking was that opportunity did give people a chance to elevate themselves in a way that most hourly jobs just don't. Like, you could earn enough to elevate your social class, basically. I don't really know a more eloquent way to phrase that off the top of my head. But I could see a future where I organize expeditions for people to come with me to different states. And if this channel grew large enough, I could invite experts in their own fields and have some people that are even more knowledgeable about certain things talk while we're on expeditions. And I would like to get a yoga certification and basically launch a complete mind-body wellness approach. I'd like to get certified and actually be serious about this. Of course, right now, we've got to finish this summer, just like whenever I was knocking on doors. What I'm saying is, if there's something that you really know that you're good at, or really know that you would like to do, even if you don't have like a specific concept, just start throwing stuff at the wall. It's what you do whenever you're knocking on doors too. You just go out there and you do everything that you can in order to make something happen. And you just got to understand that because you've put in the work to develop the skills that you have that makes you want to accomplish your mission or your goal, whatever that is, that as long as you show up every single day, you commit and do whatever it takes, then you can make it happen. And not only can you, you will. Like, you don't need to have any doubt that you will accomplish what you would like to do. So for me personally, I want to heal the world, and I will not stop until I do, and you can count on that. That's why I end every single one of my episodes with the same catchphrase, which is, what are you guys doing in order to inspire, uplift, and empower your community today? Because this world isn't changing unless we all do our part. This is a wandering author here, coming at you from Apostle State Island in northern Wisconsin, along the shores of Lake Superior, reminding you that we are all the authors of our own lives. As always, my message remains the same: spend less, live more, earn your freedom with frugality. Until next time, I love y'all.